Morning everybody. If my camera don't fog up again, I'll get this video done. Here recently, Steve Davis did a video on camp security, giving you some good pointers on campsite selection, things to look for to make your camp secure while you're out in the woods. Things like ways in and ways out, funnels, stuff like that. That way, if you're camping out in the open, anything can come at you from any angle. But when you're picking your camp, you really want to make sure there's 2 or 3 ways in and out. That way, it's a little bit more secure. You don't have to worry about getting surprised in the middle of the night. But another thing you can do, and this is not my idea, Fixedbydoc, Ryan, my good buddy on YouTube here, he did a video a while back about these Intruder Alerts. They're a little, $1 alarm system. You buy these at the dollar store for $1. Batteries and everything included. And what these are intended for is, if you're, you can take these to a hotel room, stick it to the door, and if anybody opens the door, it sets off a really loud alarm. Well, you can also use these in conjunction with any kind of tripwire and set you up a little perimeter alarm. Now, when you set them up, keep in mind what you're trying to alarm yourself about. If you set it up, obviously, 4 or 5 inches off the ground, anything that comes down that path is going to set it off. When I set mine up, I usually set it up 1.5 to 2 foot off the ground. That way, squirrels, cats, small dogs, stuff like that, they come through. It's probably not going to activate this, and it's not going to wake me up in the middle of the night and scare me. But anything bigger, coyote, lion, bear, anything like that, it'll trip this, and not only will it alert you that something is coming down your path in proximity to your camp, but this thing is loud enough that it's going to scare the bejesus out of whatever trips it, and it's probably going to scare it off. So let me get this opened up. I'll get the battery set in it, get a few things, and relocate my camera, and we'll show you what we got, alright? Alright guys, so what we got here is the actual alarm itself. Got a little on-off switch on the side, and you can see it's got a little high-pitched little squeal. When the magnet's up against it, it's got a little line right here and an arrow right here. It keeps it from going off. As soon as this is pulled away, it goes off. So I've just got I ordered some of these little tripwire sets from Sportsman's Guide or Vermont. Might have been from Vermont Army Navy. I paid $1 for them. I mean, it's 80 feet of the yellow, 80 feet of the green, so 160 feet of thin wire that I can use for little tripwires and stuff. You don't even have to have a knife. You can just, twist it like this and break it. So it's really, really good for using for stuff like this. What we're going to do here, I got a couple of pieces of bamboo set up just to simulate, the pathway into my camp. And like I said, I might have this high enough up in the air that I don't have to worry about it being tripped by anything other than something big enough to actually cause me harm. So first thing you're going to do is over here on this left side, and in general you'd want this pointing the direction of your camp so you can hear it a lot better. I'm just going to take and wrap this snare wire right around here. That is real easy to work with, and it doesn't take much to hold this in place. It's just a little, lightweight piece of plastic. We'll bring this around and tuck it out the way so it's not seen that much. And then we need another piece just big enough to go from one side to the other here. Like so. Like I said, this stuff, it just, twist it a few times and it'll snap for you, but it's plenty strong enough to make snares and things like that out of it. Just kind of secure that down. And then it's going to come all the way over here. There's actually a little hole where a screw is supposed to go through this. What I do is, this little tag that I had left over, I just kind of twist those just a little bit. You don't want them twisted tight, but just enough that it's holding it in place a little bit with just a little bit of tension. Just kind of bend them over each other into like a little hook, and I'll show you that here in a second. Let me get the come off the tripod here and I'll show you what I did close up. I just got the two pieces of wire bent over each other in a hook. Alright. Then all you have to do is line up your arrow like that. The arrow here is lined up with that little notch, which makes the magnet pull. See, it doesn't take much to set it off. Now it's set. It's all but invisible. You know, from here I'm sure you can't see it. I can't see it, which is the other reason I like these little things is, you know, you get close up to it, you can see it, but most animals probably aren't going to pay that any attention. And it's high enough off the ground, and about, you know, 2.5, 3 foot tall, that, you know, anything smaller than this, I'm not much worried about it. Obviously, if a bear cub or something comes through, he's still probably going to be big enough to trip that. But squirrels, things like that come through, you don't have to worry about it. Obviously, if a person comes through, they're going to trip it. But then, anything coming through, as soon as it gets here, sets it off. And like I said, that's loud enough to wake you up. It'll probably scare off whatever the critter was. Definitely startle them enough that, you know, they'll think twice about keep on coming. Worst case scenario, it might make them charge faster towards your camp, but at least you know they're coming, you know. So that's just something I wanted to show you real quick. Like I said, it's not my idea. I got this idea from Fixedbydoc, but I thought it was pretty cool, and somebody was asking about ways to make alarms for their camps so they can, you know, be safe when they're out there in the woods. I figured this was as cheap and easy a way as you could do it as I'd found. I said you can do this with paracord, fishing line, you know, any kind of cordage you want to use to hang these. And for $1 a piece, you know, you could pick up 3 or 4 of these and keep them in your little kit. Another thing me and the wife had talked about was this would be good to set up in front of the kids' tents so that when we're sleeping in the middle of the night, if they get up and they leave their tent, we know about it. You know, that little alarm going off would alert us to let us know that, you know, the kids had left, that they had, you know, exited their tent without us knowing about it, because a lot of times we don't sleep in the same tent with the children when we go out, especially not if we're in a big group. So that's it, y'all. Figured I'd share that with you real quick while the weather's behaving on us. Got a couple of more little things I might try to do today, but the rain's starting to come back around, so I don't know if I'll get them done or not. I'm probably just going to throw a hammock up, put the tarp on top of it, lay out here and enjoy it for a little while. But go to Vermont Army Navy store, VTBarr Army Navy. They had these for $1 a piece. I don't know that they're still on sale, but I like them. I mean, like I said, it's thin wire. It's subdued enough that you can use it for snares, tripwires, stuff like that. Definitely strong enough for, you know, squirrel, possum, coon, that kind of thing, especially in a spring snare. So I'm liking them. I ordered 5 of them. I've done sent a few of them out, but, you know, I kept a few for myself. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll try to catch you on the next one real quick.